Many people are familiar with the term PMS, premenstrual syndrome, and the roller coaster of symptoms it can bring. Mood swings, bloating, cravings for chocolate or salty snacks, a bit of fatigue, maybe even frustration with the world for a few days each month. For most, these symptoms are uncomfortable but manageable, fading away once the period begins. But what happens when these premenstrual symptoms become far more intense? What if they start to take over your life, impacting your work, your relationships, and your sense of self? That's when we need to talk about something much more serious: PMDD, or Premenstrual Dysphoric Disorder. Understanding the difference between PMS and PMDD isn't just about labels. It's about recognizing what's normal, what isn't, and when it's time to seek support. Let's start by looking at PMS. Premenstrual syndrome affects up to 75% of menstruating people. That's 3 out of every 4 individuals who have a period experiencing some combination of symptoms in the week or 2 leading up to their cycle. The list is long and familiar: mood swings, bloating, breast tenderness, food cravings, fatigue, irritability. These symptoms may be frustrating and sometimes even a little disruptive, but they're typically mild to moderate. Most importantly, PMS symptoms begin to fade as soon as the period starts. For most people, life goes back to normal once menstruation begins, and the cycle repeats the following month. PMS is so common that it's often treated as a rite of passage, something to be joked about or brushed off. You might hear people say, "Oh, she's just PMSing," or "It's that time of the month." But for some, the symptoms are much more than just a monthly annoyance. That's where PMDD comes in. PMDD stands for Premenstrual Dysphoric Disorder. While it shares some symptoms with PMS, PMDD is a severe, often disabling condition that affects about 5 to 8% of menstruating individuals. The symptoms can look similar on the surface: mood changes, fatigue, physical discomfort. But the intensity is what sets PMDD apart. Imagine experiencing not just mood swings, but severe depression or anxiety, explosive anger, or feelings of hopelessness. Some may even have suicidal thoughts. PMDD can also bring trouble sleeping, difficulty concentrating, and a pervasive sense that you're simply not yourself. The impact of PMDD isn't limited to physical symptoms. It can disrupt every aspect of life: work, school, social activities, relationships, and even your ability to care for yourself. Many people with PMDD describe feeling like their life is put on hold for 1 to 2 weeks every month, only to return to normal once their period begins. So, how do you tell the difference between PMS and PMDD? Here's a quick comparison. PMS is characterized by mild to moderate mood changes and physical symptoms. It may be unpleasant, but it rarely disrupts daily life in a major way. Most people with PMS don't need medical treatment, and they can manage their symptoms with lifestyle adjustments, over-the-counter medications, or simply by riding it out. PMDD, on the other hand, is PMS amplified, sometimes by a factor of 10 or more. The mood changes are severe, sometimes leading to dangerous thoughts or behaviors. Physical symptoms are often worse. Most importantly, PMDD causes significant disruption: missing work or school, struggling with relationships, or feeling unable to function. PMDD is not just a worse version of PMS. It's a recognized mental health disorder, listed in the DSM-5, the standard guide used by mental health professionals. Understanding the cause of PMDD is still an area of active research. Unlike what some may believe, PMDD isn't caused by having higher than normal hormone levels. Instead, it seems to be a result of the brain's abnormal reaction to normal hormonal fluctuations, particularly estrogen and progesterone, that happen during the menstrual cycle. There's also evidence that people with PMDD are more sensitive to changes in serotonin, a chemical in the brain that helps regulate mood. So, if you've ever been told, "It's all in your head," you can confidently reply, "It's in my hormones and my brain chemistry." The good news is that PMDD is treatable. The first step is getting the right diagnosis, which often involves tracking your symptoms over several cycles. This can help you and your doctor see the pattern: severe symptoms that show up before your period and disappear once it starts. Treatment options for PMDD are varied and can be tailored to your needs. Many people find relief with SSRIs, a type of antidepressant that helps regulate serotonin levels and can be taken just during the weeks leading up to the period or continuously. Hormonal birth control is another option, as it can help smooth out the hormonal fluctuations that trigger symptoms. Some people benefit from lifestyle changes, regular exercise, a balanced diet, getting enough sleep, and managing stress. Therapy, especially cognitive behavioral therapy, can be particularly helpful for learning to cope with mood changes and stress. In very severe cases, treatments that suppress ovarian function or even surgery may be considered, but these are typically last resorts. It's important to know when to seek help. If your premenstrual symptoms start interfering with your work, your relationships, or your general sense of well-being, if you feel out of control, or if you experience intense emotional pain, you are not overreacting and you are not weak. You're experiencing something real and you deserve support. Tracking your symptoms, talking to your doctor, and advocating for your health are crucial first steps. PMDD deserves real attention, and so do you. Understanding the difference between PMS and PMDD is key to breaking the stigma around menstrual health. For too long, people have been told to just deal with it, or that their suffering is normal. But PMDD is not just a bad period. It's a medical condition that affects millions, and it can be managed with the right care. If you learned something new today, consider sharing this knowledge with friends, family, or anyone who might need it. And remember, you're not alone. Whether you're dealing with PMS, PMDD, or just want to know more about your body, there are resources and communities ready to help you. Don't hesitate to reach out, ask questions, and advocate for your health. You deserve answers, support, and compassion every step of the way.